So he's very afraid. This kid has obviously been, I think he's been detained. He's obviously covered in wounds. We need the cops here as soon as possible. So he escaped.
What sort of monster could be behind this?
Where did you get the ropes on you? Who did them?
The answer? A name many already knew.
What's your mom's name? Ruby Franke.
The desert doesn't lie. At 10:50 in the morning, the asphalt outside a 5-bedroom house in Ivins, Utah, was already hot enough to blister skin. And that morning, barefoot, wrists raw from rope, a 12-year-old boy walked across it anyway, because whatever was waiting for him back at that house was worse than the pavement.
August 30th, 2023, an emaciated, beaten, and bleeding R crawls out of a window on Tagu Court and runs to his neighbor's house for help. Security camera video captures the boy walking to a neighbor's front door and ringing the bell. You can see R's tiny little legs, so small and emaciated and covered in blood, his ankles shackled with duct tape. He's not wearing any shoes. He escaped the home in only socks. After more than a minute of waiting, R begins to knock at the door. It's soft-sounding, like he's too weak to loudly.
Picture a house with no smoke alarms going off, no broken windows, no signs of forced entry. From the street, it looks like every other stucco mansion in a gated Utah subdivision. Underneath the garage, investigators would later find a bunker. That's the image to hold on to for this entire story. A picture. Perfect house built directly on top of a hidden ruin.
It all started in the city of Ivins, Utah, an affluent bedroom community just a 10-minute drive from St. George. It's known for its glorious red rocks, sun-kissed cacti, and sprawling sandstone mountains. Off the beaten path of the main roadways, you'll find a luxurious neighborhood, complete with multi-million-dollar mansions and upscale amenities. No sidewalks, no neighbors looking in, only blistering hot pavement to separate one desert mansion from the next. And yet, that's what those living in the neighborhood want: complete and total privacy, a much-welcomed escape. But as the desert heat peaked in August 2023, escape took on a terrifying new meaning. While neighbors used this haven to escape the world, a 12-year-old boy escaped a horror of his own. For his
Before we
privacy,
go further into what the court records actually show, subscribe to this channel. Because we don't chase headlines, we follow the paper trail. For 8 years, Ruby Franke built an audience by showing America the opposite of what was happening inside that house. Her channel, launched in 2015, followed her husband and their 6 children through school lunches, road trips, and orthodontist visits.
tuning in to see the latest with a Franke crew.
You got to decide, do I want school lunch? Do I want to bring lunch from home? If I do want to bring lunch from home, I want you to pick out things that you're going to eat that are healthy.
I want to bring a lunch from home, but like 2 weeks in, there's nothing to pack for lunch.
That's because what you guys do is you pick out fun things and then you abuse it and you eat it instead of coming home and eating a snack, or instead of eating breakfast, you guys are eating the snacks when you're not supposed to.
At its peak, more than 2.5 million people watched her manage a family that looked, on camera, like the model of modern parenting. She even joked on camera about hiding her yelling from viewers.
And my kids are literally starving. I hesitate to say this because it's going to sound like I'm like a mean barbarian, but I told the kids, I said, I'm not even going to let you eat breakfast until you get your chores done.
It has been amazingly well behaved for being in town.
But you yelled at me.
Shh. The fact that I yell at my kids is a secret. We don't want our viewers to know. That never happens. In my house, I never yell.
By 2020, Ruby began to face
A
massive
small, throwaway admission that would look very different in hindsight. By 2020, the videos had drawn backlash for punishment tactics Franke described herself: withholding food, extended isolation, discipline she defended as tough love. The public pushed back. She said she wasn't going anywhere. She was right, just not in the way anyone expected. That backlash is when Jodie Hildebrandt enters the story.
And I'm not going anywhere.
It was about this time when Ruby came across self-proclaimed family guru Jodie Hildebrandt, the leader of a faith-based relationship program called Connections. Ruby quickly began to idolize Jodie and began stepping away from her 8 Passengers content and instead collaborating with Jodie through Connections and a new program called Moms of Truth.
Anytime you think I want, fill in the blank, I don't care what it is, that is not love. Mm-hmm. Love is a gift that you offer because you have generated it inside yourself. And how do you generate love? Well, the only way to generate love is you use your agency to choose principles of truth.
Mm-hmm. Hildebrandt ran a self-styled family counseling program and, according to prosecutors, built an increasingly controlling relationship with Frank over the following 2 years, what investigators would later describe as unhealthy and cult-like. By 2022, Frank had separated from her husband and cut off most contact with her extended family and older children. In May 2023, at Hildebrandt's request, Frank moved 3 hours south with only her 2 youngest kids, a 12-year-old boy and his 9-year-old sister, into Hildebrandt's home in Ivans. Here's the irony worth sitting with the woman who spent 8 years teaching millions of strangers how to parent had, by this point, isolated herself so completely that her only remaining contacts were her youngest children and the one person controlling her. The parenting influencer had nobody left to answer to. So what was actually happening inside that 9,000 square foot house while the cameras were off? According to charging documents, the 2 children were restrained with rope and handcuffs. When the restraints cut into their skin, the wounds were covered rather than treated. The children were made to do physical labor outside in extreme heat, without shoes, without water. Court filings describe third-degree burns.
Everybody who has worked on this case has gone home and cried. We cover child abuse cases, right? Like, unfortunately, child abuse is something that happens in all the communities in our country. And it's something we should always be speaking out against and trying to stop, right? But child abuse to this degree is something that is super abnormal. We, in our office's institutional memory, we can only think of one case that is comparable to this, and that's with 15 prosecutors' collective experience, right? So immediately this case didn't feel normal on the whoa, this is an awful case perspective, and for better or for worse, this case was also felt different to all the people doing the investigative work, because statistically, crime occurs and is reported more often in low-income communities, right? It's not that often that you have, a $2 or $3 million home in a like super secluded subdivision where you're having like, you don't get domestic violence calls to that community very often, right? So that felt different. The severity felt different. And obviously, the media coverage felt different.
They slept on hard floors, isolated from any outside contact, in a bunker beneath the garage.
The horrors of abuse were hidden from the light of day. That is, until ours brave escape.
How did you get the ropes on you? Who did them? You're not in trouble with me, okay? We're just trying to figure out what's going on. Our main focus right now is you, okay?
Ask yourself this: how does a 12-year-old boy, injured, malnourished, and shackled, find the strength to climb out a window and knock on a stranger's door? Not once, but at multiple houses, in life-threatening heat, with nothing but socks on his feet. That single decision is the hinge this entire case turns on. Without it, there is no investigation, no arrest, no reckoning. One child's instinct to survive is the only reason the world ever found out.
As R begins to walk away, a friendly stranger answers the door.
Wondering if you could do 2 favors.
Well, what are they?
Taking me to the nearest police station. Well, actually, just one's fine.
Well, what's going on, son? Have a seat there.
It's personal business.
Have a seat. What's your name? How'd you get here?
A neighbor called Doll.
911, the address of your emergency. Tell me exactly what's happened.
I just had a 12-year-old boy show up here at my front door asking for help. We know there's been problems at this neighbor's house. He's emaciated, he's got tape around his legs, he's hungry, and he's thirsty. And he asked us to call the police. So he's very afraid.
As R's neighbor speaks to 911 dispatch, the call is put in for first responders.
But he has duct tape around his
injuries. There's sores around him.
Yeah, there's sores around him. I think the good chance he's been...
And he also has...
Oh, and he has it around his ankle.
As well.
I mean, his wrist as well. Okay, this boy has been...
Needs immediate attention. Oh, you were such a good kid.
This kid is obviously been... I think he's been... This kid has obviously been... I think he's been...
Paramedics arrived to find a boy who could barely speak up above a whisper, describing ropes and confinement. When they asked who was responsible, he gave the name without hesitation.
Is your mom around here? Have you seen her lately? He doesn't know where she is right now.
Does he know his mom's name?
What's your mom's name?
His mother, Ruby Franke. Officers went to the house and found the second child, a 9-year-old girl, hiding silently in a bathroom closet.
First responders find E hiding alone in the bathroom closet. As officers enter the room, she sits in silence.
Is this just you in here? I'm Sergeant Tobler. What's your name? I just have one. Where's your sister at?
Contact one.
You okay? Huh? You doing okay? You don't want to talk to me? Yeah, that's okay. Can you come with me though? We got Jodie out here. You know Jodie? She's outside with us. You take your time, bud. I'm in a hurry. I'm a police officer. Did you know that? I don't mean to hurt you at all. You doing okay? Are you scared? Yeah? You're okay. Do you need help?
E hardly reacts or speaks, only beginning to open up when first responders offer her some pizza. It's clear she's been starving. Finally, when a female EMT enters the closet, E begins to speak with investigators, admitting she's scared and needs help.
You don't want to talk? Okay. There's nothing at all you want to talk about at all? It's okay to talk to me. Are you scared? What? So can we carry you from there? It's the right choice. I promise. Pinky promise. We helped your brother. And we got him some help too. And that's what we want to do for you. That's we want to get you some help too. We are safe.
Investigators later said she was so withdrawn from starvation and isolation that it took the offer of a slice of pizza before she would speak at all. That detail alone tells you more about what those children endured than any charge sheet could. This is the moral center of the story, and it deserves to be said 3 times because it's the line that explains everything that follows. Adults are supposed to protect children. Ruby Franke, a woman who built a career performing motherhood for an audience, did not protect her children. Jodie Hildebrandt, a licensed counselor whose entire profession is built on protecting families, did not protect these children. Adults are supposed to protect children, and in this house, the 2 adults with the most power did the opposite. When police searched the property, Hildebrandt questioned their legal authority to enter without a warrant. Franke said almost nothing, invoking her right to an attorney
Responders
within
turn
minutes.
their focus to Ruby and Jodie.
Jodie, I need you to step out.
I have my attorney.
That's great. Step out of the house.
No, I'm not going to step out of the
Step
house.
out of the house.
Step out of the house.
Whoa.
We're just gonna see if
Whoa,
anybody
whoa.
else. Is there anybody else home?
Wait a minute, how do you come in my house?
Right there.
They come on into my house.
Just have a seat right there.
Do you have a search warrant?
Have a seat right there.
Do you have a search warrant?
Have a seat right there. I'll explain everything after. Have a seat right there.
Do you have a search warrant, sir?
Control 12X11. Can you hold the air? We're searching the house.
I can tell you what's in the house.
Okay. Just have a seat right there for me.
Do you have a search warrant?
We'll explain it after this.
You can't just come into my house without a search warrant.
We'll explain everything after this, ma'am. Okay. Well, that's one of the reasons why we're here. So we'll explain after everything's done, after we clear the house and make sure everything's fine in there.
But why are you coming into my house without a
We'll
search warrant?
explain it after this.
But that doesn't make sense. You come into my house and do what you want, and then you tell me you don't have a
No,
warrant?
we'll explain why we did.
But don't you have to have a warrant?
Not at this moment, we don't.
Both women were booked on 6 felony counts of aggravated child abuse each.
Ma'am, this is Officer Hines. He's just going to hang out here with you.
Alright, well, it feels good in here. So, hey, Ruby asked this time, I know we said that you're already detained, but I'm going to be taking you back to the police department. Okay? So I'm going to hop up. See if I can fit through here.
You want to put on one of our vehicles?
Yeah, you want. Okay, just place your hand on your back for me. Perfect.
In jailhouse phone calls later obtained through public records requests, Hildebrandt described feeling
Little remorse.
set up.
I know this sounds crazy, and I still can't put my finger on why it feels this way, but it feels like I was being set up to end up here. I know that sounds bizarro. I mean, I shouldn't be here. I haven't done anything wrong. Nightmare here, Dennis. Nobody wants the truth. Nobody wants the truth. Nobody wants the truth because these kids, you know, I told Doug, I woke up, the spirit told me, it's all the devil. I mean, you've seen him. I mean, I've known you, for 5 years? You've watched him come at me, come at me, come at me, come at me. And you're exactly right, because he knows I know what he's doing. And he uses these kids. And he uses all of us as the adults, the parents that don't hold the kids accountable. So now it's abusive to make a kid sleep on the floor. It's abusive. Or it's abusive to, that's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You can't even raise your kids anymore.
Insisting she'd done nothing wrong. Frank, in her own calls, initially framed herself as misunderstood. A mother whose intentions had simply been twisted by outsiders. That framing did not survive contact with the evidence.
I am completely misunderstood. That is the most horrible feeling. Like my own family misunderstands me. They misinterpret me. And poor Jodie, they misinterpret her. They misunderstand her. She puts her neck out on the line for people, and then they get mad at her. I mean, it is just horrendous.
Insisting she'd done nothing wrong. Frank, in her own calls, initially framed herself as misunderstood. A mother whose intentions had simply been twisted by outsiders. That framing did not survive contact with the evidence.
I would like to make a statement without any intent to change my stipulated sentence. For the past 4 years, I've chosen to follow counsel and guidance that has led me into a dark delusion. My distorted version of reality went largely unchecked as I would isolate from anyone who challenged me. I was led to believe that this world was an evil place, filled with cops who control, hospitals that injure, government agencies that brainwash, church leaders who lie and lust, husbands who refuse to protect, and children who need abused. My choice to believe and behave this paranoia culminated into criminal activity for which I stand before you today ready to take accountability.
Crediting the detective who arrested her with saving her children and stating plainly that she, not the hospitals, not the police, not the church, had inflicted the injuries. Hildebrandt's statement was shorter, expressing love for the children while stopping short of Franke's level of self-accusation.
I
sincerely love these children. I desire for them to heal physically and emotionally. One of the reasons I did not go to trial is that I did not want them to emotionally relive the experience which would have been detrimental to them. My hope and prayer is that they will heal and move forward to have beautiful lives. I am willing to submit to what the state feels would be an appropriate amount of time served to make retribution as an outcome.
My experience with Ms. Hildebrandt is that she is not the person that she has been portrayed to be. But having
The presiding judge told Hildebrandt directly that her conduct was disastrous for the children she was trained to protect.
Ms. Hildebrandt, this circumstance is tragic. It's largely, of course, of your making. By any measure, your conduct in this case was disastrous for these children. Adults are supposed to protect children. Adults with specialized training in particular are supposed to protect children. You didn't do that in this case. In this case, you terrorized children, and the results have been
Both
tragic.
women received 4 consecutive sentences of 1 to 15 years, capped at 30 years, and are currently serving time at the Utah State Correctional Facility. Kevin Franke, the children's father, was granted a divorce in March 2025 and now has sole custody of the remaining minor children. Adults are supposed to protect children. That line closes this case in the courtroom. It does not close the question the case leaves behind. How many other households, filming smiles for an audience of millions, are hiding something no camera was ever pointed at? If you want to verify any part of this story yourself, the 4th District Court of Washington County, Utah, maintains the public criminal case files for State v. Franke and State v. Hildebrandt, including the original probable cause statement filed by Ivins City Police. Read it and tell us in the comments, what part of this case do you think the public still doesn't fully understand? If this breakdown helped you see the full picture, like this video, share it with someone who followed this case in the headlines, but never saw the record. Subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications, because we'll keep following the facts long after the headlines move on.